I went to my coach, Coach Moore, Jim Moore, right after that, and told him I'm about to take up theater as a minor. I hope it doesn't contradict with football. And luckily for me, he was super, super cool and very helpful with me doing both. Hey, this is TRE HALE from the new film, Love and Monsters, and you're watching The ARROYO Show.
Come on in, you guys. Welcome to the show. This is The ARROYO Show. I'm Brandon Arroyo. If it's your first time here, please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. What a guest we have for you here today. Our next guest you can see portraying the role of Rocco with the new film Love and Monsters, set for streaming release on October the 16th. Please welcome TRE HALE.
Yeah. Pleasure to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful day. What are you up to today?
Oh man, I'm kicking it. I'm actually watching my godson. He's actually in the living room with my lady right now, watching Spider-Man. So we have a nice little morning.
Is there a better way to spend a Tuesday than watching Spider-Man and chilling with the Godfather?
I'm trying to tell you. And it's the original Spider-Man cartoons too, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm watching those and I'm just reliving my childhood too. It's great.
It's a good time. Love and Monsters set to release. We've got big guns, big monsters, big explosions. After being cooped up in a house, I think a lot of us are ready for a fun action thrill ride of a movie. Are you feeling that same way?
Oh man, I'm beyond excited. You know, this will be my first big studio release. So I'm obviously just super, super lit to have that be a thing. And then man, you know, this is the type of movie that I feel like people need to see right now. It'll be a lot of fun, see some big old monsters and some crazy stuff happen all over the place.
Well, let's talk about your character, Rocco. So one would imagine that would be just a fun role to play. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, 100%. Rocco, I mean, he's an ex-military guy turned pirate, and he carries a sawed-off shotgun. So it's just like, you can't really lose with that lineup. It was definitely a fun thing to do, especially being out there in Australia playing Rocco. It's great.
Have you been able to see any clips of yourself as Rocco yet from the finished product?
Yeah, so when I did a little audio recording session, I got to see the majority of my scenes, which looked really cool. And then I actually have a small clip that made the trailer, which I was very, very excited about.
That's really Terminator 2-esque, your shot of yourself in the trailer. For those of you guys who haven't seen the trailer yet, let's go. We'll throw a screen grab up right now. This is your man, Rocco, TRE HALE in the trailer, looking very impressive.
Oh, man. The guy that holds the shotgun with one arm, like he could really do that in real life. That's ridiculous.
What were your thoughts when you first saw that you made the trailer? Because that's a big deal.
Oh man, I was so excited. You know, I called my mom, called my lady, called my uncles, my aunties, everyone like, yo, go watch the trailer. I had a couple uncles. I was like, it's only like 1 second, Train. I'm like, man, watch the trailer, man. Let's go.
Well, it is officially out, and the movie in its entirety will be releasing on October the 16th. When you look back at production and the cast, what will you remember the most from your time on set?
Well, first, I mean, Australia. You know, just being there was such a blessing. It was such a beautiful place. I mean, you get to go there for 2 months, 1 month in Brisbane, 1 month on the Gold Coast. So that in itself is just awesome to see the locations and the sets that they made with these beautiful locations. I'd never seen beaches like that. It was really pretty. And then, I mean, the cast and crew, like I said, it was my first studio film. So I was super fortunate and lucky to have just a really, really easygoing and cool cast and crew, from Dylan O'Brien, Jessica Henwick, our 2 stars, to my co-parts, Ellen Holman and Dan Ewing, director Michael Matthews, our stunt team. I got to do some stunts with Glenn Suter, who is a legend in the industry. And really got to do my own stunts. So it was just all around, man. It was an amazing experience.
All right, so I love to hear these stories. Do you remember who you were with and what you were feeling when you first got the call that you were booked on the film?
Oh man, I got it on video actually.
Really?
I was in my I was in my living room. I was with my lady. We were just laid up chilling. My agent had called me, I think the day before, and he said that I was on hold. And most actors will know, being on hold doesn't mean nothing. You don't never know what happens when you get told it's on hold. Don't mean you booked it yet. And she called me the next day and did the whole surprised me with a text hey, call me ... made it all serious. And I was like, oh gosh. And then called me and was like, you're going to Australia, you booked it. Just went crazy. So they called my mom, called everybody once again.
Did you post your video on YouTube or Instagram or anywhere for us to check out?
No, I didn't. So my girl has the video, but she's actually making a whole little collage situation from little clips that she's made leading up to October 16th. I'm going to be doing a little viewing party with my family and friends, just gonna kind of end it all there.
And what a day that's gonna be. What is gonna be the snack for the movie party? We going popcorn? We going candy?
Have to.
There, all of you're just going full out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a popcorn chocolate guy, so it's like I like to have a chocolate item and a popcorn, but sometimes I get weird and mix Sour Patches in my popcorn, so we're gonna see. I'm gonna have it all. We're gonna have a smorgasbord.
We're looking forward to checking it out. So social distancing has been a part of all of our 2020. What have the past few months looked like for you?
A lot of in the house, a lot of hand sanitizer, a lot of self-tapes. Just been different, I mean, 2020 hit us all hard for sure. And just kind of trying to adjust to the new norms. I have kind of enjoyed, in a way, seeing the way that certain things have transitioned, for acting, for instance, doing self-tapes or having these virtual interviews. I think this is pretty cool, being able to do everything from home. So, yeah, 2020 has been 2020. I'll be definitely excited to get to 2021, but
amen to that, brother. Let's take it back. How did you first get into the entertainment world? Were there any family members in the business, or what first sparked your idea of pursuing acting?
Okay, so I have a cousin, Erica Munoz, very talented actor. She was on Broadway in Rent for about 4 years. She actually has a movie right now, Long Gone By, HBO. Check that out. But I used to watch her growing up as a kid and just like see her spots on TV and her live performances, and I'd be like, damn, she looks really cool doing that. She's killing that. But I was just super obsessed with football, so football never really kind of allowed me the time to pursue an acting goal until I was fortunate enough to go to UCLA, take a theater class, and that was pretty much the end of that.
You talk about your cousin having an inspiration on you. What is it like? I mean, for most people around the country, you see this acting and you see Broadway as something that is just a goal that's so far out of reach, it's unattainable. Mm-hmm. But when you have someone that you know or that is related to you that has achieved these goals, does that just make it seem more like, yes, it can be done. I can do this. Would that be accurate?
Oh yeah, man, 100%. I mean, I always have this funny joke that I gave up a football dream to go to the NFL to do something even harder than that, to try to become a working actor. And yes, growing up and seeing my cousin as an inspiration was definitely huge for me, especially considering that, she's a woman, she's a person of color. So it's like that's double, because that's even harder realistically when you get real at it. It's hard to do this as a person of color these days. And she did it at the highest level, man. So yeah, very inspiring. In
addition to having the inspiration, it's always so important to have people that can help you along your journey from a tactical standpoint, from the exact what it takes to be an actor. Were there any acting coaches or moments that you remember having a large impact on your craft? And where did you train? Yeah, so I'm not classically trained, but UCLA. So getting back to that story, I'll never forget this. His name was Alex Overhyde. He was my professor, my teacher for Theater 123 was the class. And me and a bunch of my football friends, we took it kind of as an elective, kind of like, let's go take this class. It's the 10 o'clock class. We'll have fun and then we can get to practice. We'll get a good grade. And I'll never forget, we were, I don't want to say dumb jocks, but we were just sitting there kind of laughing, having fun. No one was really taking it seriously. And then my professor, Alex Overhyde, at one point, one of my friends had kind of called him out, like with 20 minutes left to go in class. It's like, yo, let's see you do something, professor. Like, let me see what you could do. And I'll never forget, he was just like, you want me to do it? You want me to do it? All right, I'll do it. He stand up and he just went off on some Shakespeare, but went off. And we're all sitting there watching. And it's like, when he finished, you could hear a pin drop in the room, because everybody was just like, wow. But I was probably the only one that was really like, wow, I want to do that. Like, I'm in, because what he just did was incredible to me. And I went to my coach, Coach Moore, Jim Moore, right after that, and told him I'm about to take up theater as a minor. I hope it doesn't contradict with football. And luckily for me, he was super, super cool and very helpful with me doing both. So it was awesome. Well, having that experience in football and being an intimidating presence on the field definitely carried over into your most recent role. We are in a monster apocalypse film that's going to be coming out. You need to have a tough guy action face. Can you teach me what makes the good tough guy intimidating action face? Because we saw it in the trailer, and that was intimidating. What do you got? What makes that good tough guy face?
You know, man, I feel like it's all about the eyebrows. You know, guys like Dwayne Johnson, they've showed us that's all about the brows. So if you just click.
I got no shortage of eyebrows, I'll tell you that.
That's it. Just furrow them, you know, and then you can clench down maybe. Yeah. Or if you can clench down, get as much of that jawline as you can, and just.
There, is that it?
That's it. I'm pissed right now. I'm the toughest guy in the world.
The toughest guy in the world,
I'm the
Trey
toughest guy in the
Hale.
world right
Oh, man. Trey, you know what? One of these days, I'm going to be in a movie, and I'm going to put that back, and I'm going to say, this is what Trey Hale taught me, September 29th, 2020. Trey, as we begin to wind down the interview here, we got the final five. It is your who, what, when, where, and how of what you got going on right now. First off, the who do you speak with the most right now?
Speak with the most. My girlfriend, certainly, but it's kind of a half right now. Like I said, fantasy football is going on right now. So I'm really talking to my boy Rodney Matthews, who's like my fantasy cohort. So we're texting damn near every day, all the time, just talk about trades and all types of stuff.
What item do you use each day?
I hate to say it, but my phone, realistically, like everyone else, and my coffee maker. That's a twofer. I need my coffee in the morning.
At least we're keeping it real. A lot of people want to say, my phone's not the number one thing.
Nah, my phone is the number one thing.
When did you know that you wanted to pursue this full time? Or was it that moment in class?
No, that moment in class made me want to see if I could do this full time. When I was fortunate enough to book my first role in a movie called A Crooked Somebody, I worked alongside Rich Sumner, who's a very prominent, really talented actor. Watching him work and just that whole experience that first day, it was pretty much a wrap after that.
Where is your dream vacation?
Oh, Mykonos, Greece. Got to get there. The big white ones, the big white buildings right on the ocean that you see the pictures of. Got to get there.
So picturesque. It's like walking into a painting.
Literally.
And finally, how do you define success?
Waking up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., however early you gotta wake up, and it feels like you slept in. Because you just love what you do. Whatever you waking up to go do, whether it's work, whatever your life is at, you're just happy. Waking up happy, realistically. It's a hard thing to do. That
is the dream. Well, guys, as we mentioned, our guest Trey Hale, you can see portraying the role of Rocco in the new film Love and Monsters, set for streaming release on October the 16th. Trey, thank you so much for giving us some of your time, brother.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.